Welcome to the Awaken to Empower podcast, the show for heart-centered entrepreneurs who wish to fully step into their power and make a bigger impact in this world. If you're ready to awaken to and embrace who you are and step into your purpose so you too can manifest the business and life that you desire, then you have come to the right place. I'm your host, Kate Sanders, transformational success coach and Akashic record guide, here to support amazing entrepreneurs like you on their journey of awakening to who they are, of stepping into their power as they start living their life on purpose, of making the impact that they are here to make, and creating a successful and thriving business that is in complete alignment with who they are. Now allow me to be your guide that shines light onto the path that is in front of you, so you too can move forward, empowered and confident as you make the difference that you are here to make. Are you ready for that? Hey there, welcome back to another episode. Super grateful that you're here. I hope you have an amazing day so far. Now, in today's episode, I would like to talk to you about your third eye chakra and also how it can really be beneficial to open up your third eye and also to activate it so you can activate your intuition, really hone in onto that. So, I mean, if you have already activated your third eye, great. You're still going to get something out of this episode because I'm also going to include a powerful activation as well. Because it's one thing just to open up your chakra, but then you also want to, like, if you keep balancing and keep activating it, your intuition will grow. So that's really what the topic is going to be today. I also want to talk about like why you may or may not want to open up your third eye or expand it even more, and also how it can increase your intuition and how it can help you receive higher guidance, and then most of all how it also helps you in your business. So that's what the topic is all about. Like I said, I'm also going to include a little bonus of light language activation to really help you hone into that, really opening up your third eye, increasing it if it's already open, really just balancing it. So, and also I think it's a really perfect timing because tomorrow's Halloween. I mean, it's like already end of November. I mean, can you believe that? Where has the time gone? I'm like, it still feels like, the early beginning of the year. I'm like, the other day I was sitting here, I'm like, didn't the year just started? And now we're like almost, at the end of the year. So I don't know about you, but this year has been quite a roller coaster for me. So in a way, I'm kind of looking forward to 2020. It's supposed to be an amazing year. So it's definitely looking forward to do that. But like I said, tomorrow is Halloween. So I really thought that talking about the third eye is going to be a great topic to talk about, especially because tomorrow is Halloween. And like I said, we're going to do some light language activation as well. It's going to be a powerful, powerful episode today. But so let's talk about, if you, let's say you don't know anything about this whole third eye, let's say you're still kind of in the beginning stages of your awakening journey, I'm going to really take it back to the beginning, basically. And I'm also going to share, like I said, how it's going to affect you in your business. So the easiest way I like to explain is like the third eye is really your gateway to higher consciousness. Now, when your third eye, when it's closed or only a little bit open, then you're really disconnected to that higher guidance, that higher knowing. Your intuition is also not as developed. And also your higher consciousness, you are not really tapping into that as well. But when it is open, when your third eye is really open and you keep, opening it and activating it and really expanding it, you do gain access to that higher consciousness. You feel more in alignment. And also you receive that higher guidance, either from spirit, angels, God, whoever, whatever higher guidance you receive. And also you feel more connected to your higher self because we all have a higher self. And our higher self really knows all the answers that we're looking for. And the more we really tune into in our intuition, opening up our third eye, the easier it will really be to tap into that higher knowingness. And also then you get those amazing intuitive hits, those downloads that I know for me, I usually get them always when I'm in the shower. For some reason, my guides, I think they think it's funny that whenever I'm in the shower and I don't have a pen and paper handy, that's when I get the downloads. Or when I'm driving. So I had to always either, jump out the shower or actually just like when I'm driving, either pull over or just record on my phone real quick, whatever guidance I got. But that's really what happens when you're opening up your third eye and you're really tuning in and you keep embracing your gifts. the more you will be connected, the higher your consciousness will be, and the better you actually feel. But let's kind of touch on like why you may or may not want to open and activate your third chakra. And I'm also talking about like even if your third eye is already open, I know for me, I have done many activations and clearings and balancing to really open up my third eye even more, to balance that, to really hone in on that. And the more I had worked on that, the more my gifts developed as well. So you may want to open up your third eye and really activate it because it can assist you in your business, in your life, and over your overall well-being. You also then get to tap into that higher consciousness. You get those divine hits and whatnot. And you can then start co-creating with spirit. Because when you want to do something, and you're not quite sure, let's say you want to find out what's my next step, but when you're really tapping into higher consciousness, you may get that guidance, do this, do that, do that, right? Like I actually did that yesterday too, and that's just a good example. Like I was wondering, like I had a lot of calls scheduled, and it was more like I had one day where I had a lot of sales calls scheduled or meet and greet calls, and I had a lot of no-shows. And I was really, really frustrated about that because I mean, it is really my time. And I felt very disappointed that people didn't value my time. So I kind of tuned in. I'm like, okay, I do not like this feeling. So what should I do? And my guides came through. My guides shared with me, limit the time of calls that you have. You keep time in your calendar each and every day where you can do creative work, not just calls with clients or potential clients, but also do something creative. That actually excited me. Just the thought that each day I'm going to focus on doing something creative, that lit me up from within. So that's what I'm talking about. You get to co-create with spirit when you tap into that higher guidance. You also feel guided to take certain actions. You may already experience that where sometimes you just have that gut feeling to do something, right? Or you have this gut feeling that, oh no, this is not the right thing. I don't think I should do this. So those type of things happen. And also, you may want to open up your chakra, your third eye chakra, if you are ready to embrace all of who you are and if you're ready to activate this. Like really, if you feel called to do so, I think, it's the best way to say this. And also if it feels right. Since you're listening and if you're going to continue listening, then I'm guessing you are really at the point right now that, okay, I'm ready to embrace that side now. But now let's also talk about like why may you maybe not want to do an activation if you're not really ready to embrace that. That's really the big thing. Like if you're not ready to embrace that, if you're not really comfortable about the woo-woo side, but I'm pretty sure since you're here listening to me, I'm pretty sure you are pretty open to the woo-woo stuff because I'm all about the woo-woo stuff, right? So I'm super grateful that you're here, that you're actually tuning in. But also you may not want to do it if you don't feel ready to take that step. Because sometimes it's easier not to know and not to embrace that side. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that because even though it was a bumpy road and sometimes I felt like I was going crazy, I would never want to go back there. But I remember early on I was talking to my mentor and like I'm very sensitive to the energy. So for me, I was like feeling all these different things and experiencing all these things. And I was like, oh my God, am I bipolar? Am I going crazy? And then I contacted my mentor and she's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, why do we spiritual people have to go through all this stuff? It's like, and she was like, well, ignorance is bliss because those people that are not into this woo-woo stuff, they're not activated, they're not tapping into that higher consciousness, they're unaware of what's going on. They may just write off a bad day, it's like, okay, I'm just having a bad day. But we who are really highly sensitive and who have, really embraced that side, we feel a whole lot. I know there are days sometimes when everything is just so much for me that I really just want to like check out and just go to bed and just, put the covers over my head, like, oh, I don't want to do this today, right? So, ignorance is really bliss. So if you're not really ready to embrace that, because once you really start this journey of embracing your spiritual side, activating certain things, activating your third eye, tuning into your intuition or whatnot, more and more stuff will unfold. So it's really amazing. So once you start that journey, you really can't go back no more. But honestly, I would never want to go back. If I think back to who I was like 3 years ago or like 2016, I had my first awakening, I would not want to go back there. I do really, now that I think back, I do not like who I was at that time. So yes, even though going on this journey is very difficult and it's very challenging, it's still the best journey that you can step on because you grow tremendously. And honestly, I love all my superpowers. So I really embrace that. But also, if you don't really feel the desire to connect to a higher realm of consciousness, you may not want to do that either because, once you start this, there are going to be ascension symptoms. And that's what kind of like mentioned earlier, where sometimes you may feel like you're going crazy or whatnot. You're experiencing all these different things. And if you're not ready to do that, you may want to like hold off on that as well. So I really believe that when it comes to the spiritual aspects and really embracing that side, your empath side, your intuitive side or whatnot, and really opening up your third eye, opening yourself up to that higher levels of consciousness and also raising your level of consciousness, there are going to be some essential symptoms that may or may not be all that great. But so these are really the ways or the things why you may not want to move forward with really activating your third eye and really embracing that side. But what can you really expect on this higher plane of consciousness? So let's say you really don't know much about this. You haven't really tuned into that. So if you have, then you know what I'm going to be talking about. But let's say you haven't really experienced that. So let me talk a little bit about that. So when you reach that higher level of consciousness, that those higher planes of consciousness, all of your clears develop. And I'm not going to tell you about the different clears because I always mess them up and I can't ever remember the name. So I'm not going to tell you about that. But your clears, they develop. So some of your clears are really you're seeing stuff, you're hearing stuff, you just know things, right? And you feel things. So all of your different clears can really develop even more the higher you reach in levels of consciousness. I know for me, when I started really working on, activating myself, now I just know certain things. I really hear things that are, from my guides, or I just, like I said, I know things when I work with clients, things just kind of come through to me. I mean, I'm refusing the seeing part. That's one thing I don't want to see, but I see in the mind's eye. So I have visions when I do, let's say, an Akashic record reading, or even when I do light language, I do see things. So these are your clears. They can really develop. And that's really what happened with me. And I think that's really amazing when you have these gifts. But then also, you will have the greater insights and that knowing, that sense of knowing that could also very impact your business in a great level. And I'll talk more about that here in a minute as well. But your intuition then becomes more intense and also evolved. I know for me, like I just shared, whenever I have a conversation with clients, I don't just know stuff. I hear stuff that they don't even say. I can feel into their energy and I just realize certain things that I was not able to before I really activated myself to, tap into my intuition, to tap into my higher consciousness. So it's really powerful. I mean, sometimes I'm sitting here and then I hear my clients say something. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. That no, no. So then I kind of, tune in to see, okay, what's going on? And then I ask specific questions around what I pick up on and help my clients really realize, oh my God, you're right. This is it, right? So it's really powerful. Also, one thing that I really love, and I just talked about it a little while ago, is about receiving those downloads with ideas. Sometimes when you least expect it, like I said, I usually get them when I don't have a pen and paper ready. But the thing is, it's those hits those downloads that just excite you. Like the other day, for example, and by the time you're listening to this episode, I'm not sure if I already released it, but I was actually doing a healing session. I received a healing session, and during that healing session, I had this download that I need to put together a chakra activation meditation using light language. And then I was like so lit up from within. And after I got off the call, I right away I started writing. I got this entire download of the outline of what I should talk about, what I should activate, and those type of things. And then that same day I recorded it and I actually sent it out to a couple of people so they can listen to it. I actually have been doing this meditation myself for the past couple of days. And one thing that happened to me is that I actually activated my Kundalini, which was actually not expected. But, it's like things like that. Or I had ideas for a program. I did a challenge back in August which also came to me. I was on a call with an accountability partner, and I was thinking like, what could I do? What could I do? And then it was just bam, it was there. I had this hit of create a 5-day challenge. And my challenge was amazing. And it's when you have those hits and you take action on that, you're really, you're just in that flow. And that's the great thing. So the more you really reach to that higher level of consciousness, you constantly get those downloads. And hey, it's so much nicer. So you don't have to figure everything out yourself, right? I know I like whenever I get a download, because then I can just, I'm in the flow. Things just flows through me, and I just take action. And usually whatever comes through me through a download like that, that's what gets me results. Okay, so really, really powerful. Then you also are going to experience things that you haven't experienced before. I mean, sometimes when I talk to, friends or my parent, my mom is also very in the spiritual side. Thanks to me, I think I got her hooked on that. But when I talk about certain things, I'm just sitting here and like, oh my God, I would have never talked about these things like a few years ago. Like one of my clients, I call her my Dr. Doolittle because she speaks to animals. And every time we're having a conversation, she tells me certain things about what she experienced. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I'm experiencing all these things. I'm talking about topics that a few years ago I would have called myself completely retarded and stupid and out of my mind that I would talk about these things. But now it's like normal. She talks to animals. Oh my God, this is amazing, right? So you're experiencing things, and even like on an emotional level, or you personally, you will experience things that you have never experienced before. The more your gifts develop, I know when I came across the light language, it blew my mind. Now I'm actually doing more singing, and I'm just listening to it. I'm like, oh my God. But you see, there's all these amazing things that happen. Yes, there's some downsides, with ascension symptoms, but when you embrace that, your gifts develop, it is amazing. But like I said, there's a little warning, because there will also be those not so pleasant experiences as you ascend, like I just mentioned. So be prepared for it. The key here is like, don't judge yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, because at the end, when you have made it through that little ascension phase, you're going to come out and you're going to be a completely different person. You're going to feel so amazing. And like I said, you're going to experience things that are going to blow your mind. So, just want to point it out. Now, like I said, my experience has been amazing as my gifts have unfolded. And I even see it with clients. I see it with the people I talk to. The more they really embrace the side of them and tap into that higher levels of consciousness, whenever they're sharing with me like the things that they can do, the things that they're experiencing, it's really mind blowing. But then also, with ascension, you may come up with resistance. So you want to pay attention to the clues it leaves, because you may have doubt, you may have fears, you may fear really stepping out into the world and embracing that side. I know a lot of the spiritual people, they're still kind of like in the spiritual closet. You may or may not be. And it really is sad, because I really believe, and I had a client before where she really had her business side, whatever she was doing in her business, separate from her spiritual side. But the key was, and actually I did this myself as well when I first started with the whole spiritual side. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep that separate. But the thing is, you want to embrace all of who you are, because people can feel when you're inauthentic. And what I mean with that is, if you're not really bringing all of you into the mix, if you're leaving that spiritual side on the back burner or whatnot, people can feel that there's something missing about you. And honestly, I have really come across a lot of people. They love the fact that I bring the spiritual side into the mix. It makes me unique, and also that can be your unique selling point, right? That can be uniquely your style of how you work with people if you really bring all of who you are into the mix. And I really believe that, don't be afraid to really embrace that side, because those people who are meant to work with, they're just waiting for you to embrace all of who you are. You're not going to attract a lot of those people that are not in alignment with who you are, because the more you embrace that side of you, your vibration raises as well. And then those people who are not at the same level of vibration, they're not open to that level, they will not notice you. They will not be attracted to you. They will not resonate with you. So they're not even going to come reach out to you or want to have a conversation with you simply because, and that's not a bad thing actually. That's actually a good thing because you want to attract those people that are resonating with who you are, with what you do. So as you raise your level of consciousness, your vibration changes. So you will not attract the people that are very, very low vibration. You may from time to time, but I honestly don't remember the last time I had a conversation with someone that was not spiritual and, on the woo-woo side, that did not get what I do. I mean, yes, from time to time, I have like one that kind of slips through the cracks where they're either absolutely not into the spiritual stuff, they don't get it or whatnot, but it's fine, sometimes that happens. But don't be afraid of embracing all of who you are. I think that's really what I want to share with you. Now, the best way you can handle that ascension, the not so good sides, when you embrace that side is because, I mean, for one, you want to know it's part of the journey and it's okay. But you want to know, you want to understand that, as you're embracing it, you're going to feel certain things. Know that you are not crazy, okay? You're not bipolar. It's just all part of the journey. And what you may want to do is you want to journal about your experiences, about even the resistance that you're having. Then also, find yourself a mentor. I know when I first had my awakening, and my coach had told me back then if I ever thought about being an empath, and that blew my mind. I'm like, what? I don't know what you mean like with that. Instead of like some kind of illness that I really don't want or whatnot. But then as she explained it to me, everything started to make sense. But then I'm like, well, what the heck am I supposed to do with this now? Now I know that I'm feeling all these things, but what am I supposed to do? Right? So for me, the first year was really tough because I did not have a mentor. So I was looking, but it was like my first, just the first, the beginning on my spiritual journey. So I didn't actually have anyone that I could talk to. It was not until I met my Akashic Record mentor about like 2017, so almost a year later. And she really helped me make sense of everything that I was experiencing whenever there was Mercury retrograde or, moon, full moon, new moon, or just anything, was shifting and whatnot. I basically bugged her. I'm like, hey, am I going crazy or is something going on? She's like, nah, there's something going on. It's Mercury retrograde, so it's all normal. I'm like, okay, thank God, right? So you want to find someone that can really help you on this journey. Because if you're really serious about embracing all of who you are and continuing this journey, if you have a mentor, an accountability partner, or someone that is a little further along on the spiritual path than you, that can really, really make things so much easier. Okay? So now that we talked about this, let me talk a little bit more about how does this really affect your business? Because I mean, this is what we're here, right? We want to find out how we can be more in alignment with our business, with the success that we want to create, right? So the more you embrace your spiritual side, opening up your third eye and really connecting to the higher consciousness, it actually helps you stay in alignment. And this is really key. And I tell you what. I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, okay? I mean, my clients, they're entrepreneurs. And one thing that I often hear is that they are so misaligned because they're doing all these things, all these strategies, all these things, going on social media, doing a webinar, doing this, doing that, and it's not really working. And the reason why, because they're not in alignment, or even when it comes to their niche or some other aspects about their business, they're not completely in alignment. So when you tap into that higher consciousness, you notice that's the key. Because before I really raised my vibration and raised my level of consciousness, I didn't know that, well, having all these calls and being stood up all the time actually messes with my vibration and messes with me like on an energetic level, right? So my energy, I could really feel my energy constricting because I was frustrated. Before I was like, oh, whatever, they just stood me up, whatever, right? So I just kind of brushed it off. But the thing is, just brushing it off, it was not just brushing it off because my energy constricted and then I basically blocked abundance. So when you are really tapping into a higher level of consciousness, you're really realizing those things and then you can course correct. That's the thing, because when you notice that you're misaligned, you can either tap in, check with your higher self or, with your guides or whatnot and ask, oh, what's going on here? Or you can feel into your energy field to see, okay, how do I feel? What's going on here? And then you can notice that you are misaligned. So when you feel that, when you notice that, then you can course correct. So success actually becomes much easier because when you do a strategy, and let's say, and you may want to tune into, think about the last strategy that you worked on that didn't really go so well, or even something that you're doing right now in your business that is either not getting you the results that you want, or things are just not all that great. Tune into that and kind of check in with yourself. How does that feel? Does it feel exciting? Does it feel constricting? That's what I'm talking about. And now if you notice that, oh, it doesn't feel so great, guess what? You can course correct. That's what I mean by when you're misaligned, you can course correct, but you got to tune in. And also, you become more in tune with your higher self and your clients. Like I shared with you earlier, the more I tune into my clients, the deeper I can go with them. You can serve them at a higher and deeper level. And actually, in the next episode on Monday, I'm going to be talking about, how it is to being an empath, really embracing that side of that, how it affects your business, and how it can make you a better entrepreneur. So I'll talk about that in the next episode. But so now what I would like to do is, so now that we talked about opening your third eye, I hope you're still with me because I'm about to do this light language transmission to really help you activate and balance your third eye. So if you can, unless you're driving and don't do this, then listen to it later. But if you're in a place where you can just close your eyes, you're undisturbed, what I would like for you to do is, and also when you feel ready to listen to this, to do this really, right? Don't listen to this if you're not ready for that. Then you may just want to skip to the end. But if you're ready to activate your third eye, then, for right now, just put your feet on the ground. Take a deep breath to really get centered. And as you're breathing out, let go of any tension, any stress, any worries, any fears, any densities, anything that does not need to be here right now. And then the intention is, and I want you to tune into your heart and really open yourself up to receiving this activation. Allow the energy to do whatever it's intended to do because it's to your highest and greatest good. And the intention for this light language transmission is to open up your third eye for greater intuition, for ascending to the higher consciousness, and also lifting your consciousness to connect to the higher realms. Okay, so tune into that, and we're also going to release anything that may be standing in your way of really embracing that. Ku'umalakasu'unu tuluana ahata iku uruana aha ase iku ushu utuma ate ikane ihia lutu uhua la aha ane ehe ihia ha ane ehe le ene etu uma ane iku uruata aha a nasa ahani I ha ane ku u shakata ati ki ika ate ehe ine ta aha su'uma aha na aha aka ati I ase ika ane e nu uruata ate ika uma a ane e na ase ehe enea na ase ha e shi ika ha ne ele iku u ha ane ya se e ya aku u uma aha na ta ashi ya se ene elea hu utumata a no uku uhu maaka aha te ihi iti ini ti ihi su uruana ale ehe ha ale na ku urua taka te iku ushu unu utu ua na aha ane ku urua tata e ene e ti ishi iti ita ane no urua ane ele e ti ia kata ase ehe ene a hu ushu uma ane ha ashi ikate ikate se urutu urua taka ate na kata ushuku hale ene ase ehe ha ale na krua sakshiki iti I hana ete ika sarani iti ihi ha ati iki ika ate ika arai iku unwa nashi iti ha ashi ikane hu aliaku ha ane e na akane e titane e tiluaka le eshini akata ane ha shi na karasushunwa ta'a nashniti si ika hu umanata aseaka. Now take a deep breath in and really anchor that one in. Allow yourself to really embody these new levels of light that are found in these higher realms. Take another deep breath. Okay. So now what you may want to do is, you can still sit in quiet and imagine you have, purple light all around your third eye, and really, penetrating your third eye, and really continue allowing that energy to do its work. It may still continue until it's completely done. So it may take a couple minutes, it may take longer. It depends on where you're at and how much clearing, healing, and activation needs to be done until it's done. So it's not going to interfere with your day. But you may want to even journal, write in your journal any experience that you had as you were listening to this activation, even any experience that you had maybe later on. Maybe something has come up for you. Maybe you just felt really good. Maybe you didn't feel anything. But the thing is, the energy is still doing its work. So you may experience certain things later down the road. You may even want to re-listen to this part of the episode again if you feel called to do that. But one thing I feel guided to let you know is, like, go out into nature and allow the shift, that inner shift, to take place. If you really want to embrace this, really go out, put your feet on the ground. I mean, it depends on if it's really cold outside, you may not want to do that, or maybe just stick your nose out the window or whatnot. But if you can, go out into nature and really connect with the energy outside, right? And really allow yourself to allow this inner shift to take place. Okay. So I really think this is going to be an amazing time for Halloween tomorrow. A really good preparation for that. So I hope it's going to, shift you really nicely. And feel free to let me know if you had any experience. But I'm gonna leave you with this now, so I'm not gonna keep talking, so you can let that sink in. But I'm super grateful that you're here now. Feel free to share it with anyone that you feel called to or guided to share it with. Maybe you know of someone that would like to activate their third eye as well and really embrace that side of them. And super grateful that you're here. And I'll talk to you in the next episode. Until then, make an amazingly abundant, successful day. Namaste and happy Halloween. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Now, if you enjoyed what you have heard, please be sure to leave a review on iTunes and also follow the show on your favorite listening platform, just to make sure that you won't miss any upcoming episodes. And also, if you would like some extra motivation, guidance, or support to help you step into your power and finally manifest the amazing business and life that your heart desires, or if you would like to just get more information about this podcast, then visit me at ksanders.com, and also feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or even Instagram. Now, I appreciate you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Until then, have an amazingly abundant and successful day.